Hello, trainers! Professor Palm here, and it's hard to believe that 15 years ago, the Sinnoh region came out. That's right. 15 years ago, we were introduced to the Pokemon games Diamond and Pearl worldwide. A lot of people debate on what's the best region that Pokemon has ever made, and some people oftentimes say the Sinnoh region is the greatest region of all time. And I'd have to say, I agree with them. After all, they used it for the first Pokemon Legends game. That's a true testament to how good the region is. Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl were the very first core series games to be played on the Nintendo DS. And if you ask me, I think that was a perfect choice. After all, we had a lot of interesting new features added in, and I'd have to say the starter Pokemon we have for the region is the top-notch starters. After all, we had Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup, and they were great to have no matter which one you chose. Also, in the Hisui games, we also got to have starters that came from other regions, and they got their own Hisuian forms, which was equally just as cool. So think about this. This is the first region that you choose a starter to, but it's also a region back in time that you could also get a different starter to. How cool is that? The Sinnoh region introduced a lot of incredible Pokemon, but if you ask me, I think the legendary Pokemon that were introduced in this region were top-notch. So, let's take a look at both the Master of Time and the Master of Space themselves, Dialga and Palkia. These powerful Pokemon are sought after by the villainous Team Galactic, especially Cyrus. Because these Pokemon together have the ability to create an entirely new world, Cyrus wants both of them, and he wants to shape the world to his own image. It's crazy to think that both of these Pokemon have the ability to control the very fabric of space and time itself. I mean, think about that. Our entire existence relies on both of these guys, and if anything was to happen, the world as we know it would go poof. Yeah, kind of crazy to think about that every time that we breathe, we have to thank these guys for our existence. Speaking of time, maybe we should start off with these two and start with the Master of Time itself, Dialga. Dialga is the temporal Pokemon, and it is known as the Master of Time. This Pokemon appears as the mascot for Pokemon Diamond and Brilliant Diamond. Oh, if we're going to talk about games in the Sinnoh region, in the times of Hisui, this Pokemon was worshipped by the Diamond Clan as an ancient deity. What really stands out is Dialga's lovely metallic blue color. I mean, it looks like a beautiful paint job if this was for any sort of steel machine. And being a steel type, it definitely looks great on this Pokemon. Also, if we're going to talk about its name, Dialga, you can think of it close to being diamond, and if you look very carefully at Dialga's chest, you could see that giant encrusted blue diamond in the middle of it. For anybody who wants to know what Dialga is based off of, it's actually based off of a dinosaur. But which dinosaur, you may ask? The answer is a sauropod. If you ever watched the movies Land Before Time, you would know that they call those dinosaurs long necks. But this one stands out, not just because it's a legendary and not just because of its power. Like I said before, the metallic blue color is very beautiful and makes this Pokemon incredible. Just like the three Lake Guardians, Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf, who, when they were born, people believe emotion, knowledge, and willpower came to be. Legends claim that when Dialga was born, time started moving. And not only that, but every heartbeat Dialga has makes time move. For being a dragon, as well as a steel type, it has one of the coolest colors ever. I mean, I'll never stop saying it, but the metallic blue that was chosen, as well as the incredible steel it has, makes this Pokemon really stand out. As amazing as this Pokemon is, finding it is another story, because a lot of legendary Pokemon are hard to find. However, when it comes to Dialga, it's not a question of where is this Pokemon, but the question of when is this Pokemon. That's right, somebody called Doc Brown or even Doctor Who, because this Pokemon can time travel, especially with its signature move, Roar of Time. You see, this move blasts the target with a power that distorts even time. However, for those of you who like this move, be careful as it's a very risky move. Dialga uses a lot of power and it has to recharge on its next turn. So if you're going to use that move, use it knowing that you're going to get an OTKO. As the old saying goes, time stands still for no one. However, you can make the argument that with Dialga, this Pokemon has time on its own side, because it can control time, not just with its mind, not just with the Roar of Time, but it has the ability to even change things that it knows is going to happen or can happen. Some people think it's crazy to think that Dialga knows everything that can happen, but if you really want to think of something crazy, think about this. This is a Pokemon that has seen the beginning of time and has even seen the end of time. It knows everything, and it can change time on its own dime. If you could befriend this Pokemon, where would you go in time? Would you go forward? Would you go back? Would you try to make things that didn't work well back in time work with you? Or would you just leave things as they are? For me, I know exactly where I'd go. I would go to November of this year so I can get Scarlet and Violet. I mean, I'm excited to see where the games are going to take us, but waiting is always the annoying part, so imagine that. Just go pick up the game and I can tell you everything I know about it. Too bad the real Dialga isn't here, but that would be great to time travel with. As incredible as time is, and how cool it would be to time travel, I sadly have to say we don't have time to talk about everything forever with Dialga. And it is time to move on to something more powerful than time itself. Let's talk about space. Let's talk about dimensions. Let's talk about the spaces between spaces. That's right. Time to meet the master of space itself, Palkia. Well, I guess you could always make that joke that the master of space also exists in Legends of Arceus. Palkia is the spatial Pokemon, and it's the master of space. This Pokemon appears as the mascot for Pokemon Pearl and Shining Pearl. The Pearl clan in the Hisui region worship this Pokemon as an ancient deity in Legends of Arceus. Just like with Dialga, Palkia is also based off of a dinosaur, a theropod to be precise. When looking very closely at this Pokemon, you can see it has the pearlish colors, but it also has two ginormous pearls encrusted into its shoulders. If you look very carefully at Palkia's hands, you can see it looks as if this Pokemon is wielding gauntlets. Maybe this Pokemon will create a new Infinity Gauntlet. Maybe this time Thanos won't be able to get his greedy hands on this one. One thing I really want to say about Palkia is I love the wings it has on its back, because I do love flying type Pokemon a lot. I know that Dialga and Palkia in the anime as well as the movies can fly, but I really think those fin-like wings that Palkia has on its back add a lot of depth to it, especially with the fact that this is a water dragon Pokemon, giving a little bit of a water feel to this Pokemon. Just like with the Millennium Falcon, Palkia has the ability to travel in hyperspace all across the universe. And if you want to travel with this Pokemon, you may have to find it. But just like with Dialga, this Pokemon doesn't really live within our world. You see, this Pokemon lives in a parallel dimension very similar to ours in the spatial dimension. It does make you wonder, since this Pokemon has traveled through different dimensions, what has it seen? Maybe there's a world where Pokemon and trainers have the roles reversed. Maybe there's a world where Pokemon is just a card game. Maybe there's even a world made all out of paint. Who knows? Palkia has probably seen it all and keeps it all to itself. Palkia also gets the power to use its ability to travel through space and dimensions with its signature move, Spatial Rend. This move tears the target along with the space all around it, and it even boosts up its critical hit ratio. So for those of you who like competitive Pokemon, this is a good Pokemon to have with a good critical hit ratio. Maybe this is just me, but I really want to say that Palkia has a very similar cry to Boga from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. For those of you who don't know who that is, Boga is the lizard that Obi-Wan rode on when he took on General Grievous. I mean, listen to their cries. They sound very similar, But then again, it could just be me talking. Since Palkia has the ability to open up different dimensions, what's a dimension that you'd want to visit? I mean, would you want to see a different version of you, or are you fine in this dimension? I do have to say that if Scarlet Witch had wanted to go after this Pokemon, we definitely would have had a different movie of Doctor Strange. Maybe this Pokemon could have even helped Doctor Strange go back to his dimension. Some people question why Dialga and Palkia are not pure dragon and why they have the water and steel typing with them. Well, my dear trainers, the answer is very simple. With Dialga, diamonds are very, very hard. They're hard like steel. Also, when you think about time, you think about clocks. So think about this. The little springs, the cogs, and even the little hands were all made of little metals back then, and you need all that to turn time. And if you look very carefully at Dialga's tail, you could see that its back spikes and its tail represent a sundial. For those of you who don't know what that is, back in the ancient days, there weren't any clocks, but how people told the time with the sun was simple. They had a tool made of metal and little numbers or little Roman numerals that told the time, and since the shadow of the sun would often move, people could tell what time it was. For Palkia, on the other hand, some people can argue that the reason it has a water typing is because of the fins on its back, as well as pearls come from the ocean. However, you could also look at it from this point of view, that water can represent weightlessness that astronauts experience in space, and also what we can experience in the water on Earth. And if you look very carefully at Palkia as itself, it looks like that this Pokemon itself is wearing a spacesuit. If you want to give Dialga and Palkia a boost, there are two items that can greatly help your Pokemon. The Adamant Orb for Dialga, and the Lustrous Orb for Palkia. If you want to get these items, you can find both the orbs behind them on the Spear Pillar in Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Normal Pearl. However, if you want to find them in Platinum, you have to go to the heart of Mount Coronet. Thankfully, as we've seen in the games as well as the anime itself, the three Lake Guardians will come to their aid and have the ability to put Dialga and Palkia at peace, and if needed, they could put their minds at check. Since both of these Pokemon are based off of gems, maybe they have the power to create Infinity Stones. Think about it. Maybe Dialga, with its diamond in its middle, could create a brand new Time Stone, and Palkia could even create a brand new Space Stone with one of the pearls in its shoulders. As you've seen in Platinum as well as the anime, Dialga and Palkia together have the ability to create a whole new world. In fact, that's what Cyrus, the leader of Team Galactic, wanted more than anything. But here's what's crazy about it. Since these Pokemon have the ability to control time and space, not only can they make an entirely new world or even a new universe, they can change the laws of physics. So time, as well as the way things work, will always be in their control. Despite both Dialga and Palkia being the main series Pokemon, they first appeared in the movie The Rise of Darkrai, where they played second fiddle to Darkrai, sadly. Just think about the whole world that these Pokemon could create. Who knows? Maybe they created it in another world or even another time. Maybe something went wrong and they did that also. Maybe it's even possible that together stuff happened that we don't even know about that Dialga and Palkia took care of. Who knows? Because these Pokemon know the answers to so many questions. Arceus may be the god of all Pokemon, but these two are the true rulers of time and space. Not only can Dialga and Palkia open up new doors for us, but they can open up doors that we didn't know existed. In fact, they can open up doors to all different worlds. So, are these your two Huh? What's going on? I'm starting to feel little pressure. It's also starting to get kind of cold in here. Oh no. Are you guys opening up a new door? Oh no. Oh no. I think I know what this means. Oh geez. This doesn't look good. What's going on? The ground's shaking. What's going on? Oh my gosh, there's nothing in here. It's just dark. It's dark. I can't see a single thing. Wait, why is the ground opening up? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's red eyes. Red eyes. Dear Arceus, what is this thing?